Okay, so today we're going to continue on with what we did last time and take that morph and bring it into this to this character. So I'm using the morph Mesh Morpher plugin, and the first thing we got to do here is select our our mesh that we're going to be doing this to. So you have to go to the body here. And you can see under the metahumans the name, the male, tall, normal weight. Okay, so we have that selected. And now we can do, and there he is. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to create our mesh, create our new meshes. So click on this. Now this is a little annoying, makes it real tiny, but this is the main thing you're going to be working in. So what you do is you just make it bigger to make it a little easier to work with. Okay. Now, so we have our base file, and we're going to bring it in. Now this is going to come in actually from the ZBrush projects directory, which is pre-sculpt. That's the one I saved before I started messing with it. And then the morph file is, just didn't go back to where I wanted it. All right. So morphed. You can see a little difference here. Now we are doing the body right now, and we got to give it a name. Z, let's call it Z body. So we're going to do this for both the body and the head. And this is important. These have to all face the same direction as your guy here. So we're going to, let's see where we're going to change. Base transformation, rotation, and I think this is -90 if I remember correctly. There we go. Now they're all looking the same way. And so we're ready. And it's successful. Now we're going to close this. And we're going to close that. And now we're going to go back to Oscar. And we're going to go to his face. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. It looks kind of weird. Click on here. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to come here. And let's make this a little smaller so it fits. We're going to do that. And again, we're going to use the same. And remember, we got, it can tell, it's smart enough to know the body and the face. So we're going to go here and model pre-sculpt. See, it even shows it to you, which is kind of cool. And model post-morph, and you can see. And we're going to do the, call this Z head. And again, we're going to do -90 here, so everyone's facing the same way. We're going to do OK. This takes a few seconds. And there we go. Close that out. Now to prove to you it actually did something, let's have a look at this. Go way down in the bottom here. Way down. this up a little bit. You see, Z head is right there. Just so you can see that. Let's see. Okay, great. So we have our morphs. Now what? Now we have to connect them to the character. So what we're going to do is, you see here, edit. This is going to edit the blueprint for the character. There are two things there's a construction script and the event graph. We're going to start with the event graph here. And let's see if I can, there we go. Now at the end here, we need to add some stuff. You could bake it in, but they recommend when you watch the video, don't do it that way. So we're going to look here for, see if I can find it. It's called set morph target. It's a function. Set. Let's see. All right. Let's plug. Here we do it this way. Set morph target body. And you see it conveniently puts the body right there. And now we're going to pull out from here. And we're going to do the same thing. Set morph target, and we want the face. These are the two things we did. And you can see it even puts it in there for you. And this is going to be fine in terms of if you, at this point, decide to just run it, you won't be able to see it, but we need to activate it. So we're going to create a custom, let's see, we need to create a custom event. Where do we add? Oh, let's see. See if I can add custom event right here. And this first one, whoop. I'm going to move this here. We're going to make it a little bit bigger, I think. If we can. Whoop. And we're going to rename this to body activate. And we're going to plug it into where we plug it in. We're going to plug it right in here into the, because this is going to, because remember, this is the flow right here, and these are the values. And then we're going to do another one. We're going to add another custom event. I'm going to call that face activate. And again, we're going to add this on to the flow. So let's compile and save that here. Now we do have to do put the name in. So we're going to put in the name of Z body. Body. and Z face. And then let's compile, well, let's go to the construction script. And we're gonna do body activate, and we're gonna take this again, and we're gonna do head activate, or face activate rather. Face activate. And then we're gonna compile and save it. And what should happen is now, well, we need to go back to the, let's see, go back to the event graph here because we didn't set the value. The value's still at 0. Notice our guy looks pretty normal. So we're gonna set these at 1. We're gonna compile and save. And you notice what's going on here. Well, something, let's see what his, maybe you have the wrong name here. So let's go back, and I'm going to look at Oscar face again and see what, because I probably called it the wrong thing. This is one, but it, Z head. Oh, okay. It's Z head. So let's go back, close that. That's a problem. This is why he looks funny. This is also, you could see why you have to do these, bring them together to do the sculpting. So let's go back here and change this to Z head. Z head. And let's compile. You can see immediately, you can see that. Save. He's matches now. So now that we have him back, I can show you some other trick. You can see now he's all puffed up. Show you some other trick here. One thing that you may want to do is you don't want to have to go back to the script to change stuff. Let's say you added different morphs, or you want to, maybe you want to combine morphs. In which case you probably need more morph targets. But what you're going to do here is what you can do, you can click on this and you can say promote to variable. And as you see, this is over here, and you can do the same thing here. Whoop. Promote to variable. And then promote to variable. And here, promote. I'll make sure I got the right thing selected. Yes, I do. What am I doing? I want to move him, there. So now, that's great. And you can see, you can change this here, but you want to be able to see it in the details. So what you got to do here is, in here, in this variable, you got to click instance enable. And we're going to do that for the morph. Yep, morph target name and the value. We're going to do the same thing. And instance editable. We're going to do the same thing here. Instance editable. And to the value. Instance editable. So now we want to cross compile and save. And we should be able, now if you look at Oscar, morph target name, value, so you probably want to change the name so that you know. But you can see now here that you could, actually, let me move myself here so that you can see. I'm going to move myself over here. And you can now see right here that these values are in there. Now, obviously, I should probably have changed the name. But what does that mean? So let's close this. It means that, let's say you didn't like it. So you can just, and you want them to be back to normal. Maybe you can even do something like an Incredible Hulk thing where he blows up. So this is one thing that's great about this plugin. It's not a cheap plugin. I'm going to warn you that. It is less, you can save a little bit of money by getting it on the ArtStation rather than directly in the Unreal Engine. The gentleman also has a very good course that goes through the whole process of creating a character, which is pretty cool. So, and that's, I think it's the plugin is on the on ArtStation. I think it's like 180 as opposed to 199 directly on here, and the course is I think 80. And I think you get a discount if you buy the course. Anyway, so we have seen the and how you can make this a very versatile tool here. And if you have multiple morphs, you can even change them. Now again, as we've seen, you want to use the same because if you're blowing up one, you want to blow up the other. And it's still not, I don't know how this is going to look in when you start, if you go in here, what would happen? What would it look like? I'm trying to find where he is even. Where is he? I don't see him. Right? There he is. And it's still, not perfect. This is not really going to matter if you're going to put clothing on him, but that reminds me of one other thing. One thing I tried to weld it when I created the Mesh Morpher, when I created the morph. One thing I learned since, let me go back here, escape, and one thing did learn is you can do in ZBrush, you can use dynamesh after you merge it, and I'm going to experiment with that and see if it avoids this. Special note, I did go back and did a dynamesh on the model. Let's see if I can show you that. Right? It likes to do this. Right here. I did that before. You have to do it before you start sculpting. And then save the mesh, the pre-sculpt mesh. Once you hit Dynamesh and you set your values, You don't want to send too hot, too low. I sent to 1064, and it's not that small, but it may be a little. You may have to work with it if you're going to animate, but at any rate, once I did that, and I did the pre-sculpt and the post-sculpt, as you can see, because I had dynamesh, you see how much better this looks? So that resolves the issue that we saw with the little space there. So you don't worry about welding, which is what we talked about last time. You must dynamesh your model before you go ahead and start sculpting it. So that's all, but very important. Thanks.